What's up, YouTube? It's Heretic here. Welcome back. Today we are looking at a deck based on the one Andrew Mahone played at the Nick Bailey Open, which he placed top 4 with, and it is a Decidueye-GX Vileplume variant running Alolan Ninetales-GX. You can also just run the promo Tapu Koko. That is an option for this deck always. However, the 50 damage you get on a single target as opposed to the spreading of 20 can really help to finish some KOs and stuff. So this is the build we're looking at least right now. So we run a 4-4-4 line of Decidueye-GX, just like always. Feather Arrow, the ability of Decidueye, really the star of it, allowing you to, once per turn, place 2 damage counters on any one of your opponent's Pokemon of your choice. Also has Razor Leaf, a vanilla 3 for 90, and Hollow Hunt GX for 1 grass, which allows you to put any 3 cards from your discard pile back in your hand. All coupled along with 240 HP, pretty beastly. And then a 2-2-2 line of Vileplume to shut down item cards, 2 Shamans, and then a 2-2 line of Alolan Ninetales. Such a good card. Another GX attack we get here, so we'll have our choice between this and Hollow Hunt. Ice Path GX for 2 colorless, moves all damage counters from Alolan Ninetales-GX to your opponent's active Pokemon in a Tauros-style GX move. One of the better GX attacks that's ever been printed, in my opinion. And Ice Blade, also, the main reason we run Alolan Ninetales here, dealing 50 damage to any one of your opponent's Pokemon. Just overall really good. We also have Alolan Vulpix, the basic, which is worth mentioning, which has a costless attack called Beacon, allowing you to search your deck for any 2 Pokemon and add them to your hand. Great for setting up multiple Decidueye lines early. Definitely a very solid card, and I could even see Vulpix being played in some more setup-based decks without Ninetales even. So, we'll see how that ends up folding up, but that is our Pokemon lineup. Items, very simple, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Trainer's Mail, 2 Revitalizer, and 2 Level Ball. Standard Decidueye Vileplume items. Nothing more, nothing less. We also have 3 Float Stones over here, because I generally feel that 2 is not enough. So that's our, rounds out our item count. And that is only 15 item cards, so Garbodor decks, eat your hearts out. Got 4 Forest of Giant Plants again, obviously, for Decidueye and Plume. We have 4 Sycamore, 4 N, 2 Lysander, no Techie supporters, nothing too crazy. And then 4 Double Colorless and 3 Grass Energy to round everything out. That is the entirety of the list. There's some stuff you could try to put in here. Like I said, the promo Tapu Koko, the Olympia could be an option here, as could the Espeon EX, which I really like with Decidueye, especially here in the Sylveon matchup. If you get enough of these up, you can lay down 3 Feather Arrows and then de-evolve their Sylveon to take a knockout, which is pretty nice. This deck otherwise does have a pretty bad Sylveon matchup, so that would be an out for that one. But anyway, we are going to go ahead and try to get into a couple of games here with this and see if we can make it work. So let's go. Alrighty, so get going here, and that looks like a Garb-Lele, just the standard support types. Since Garb fits into that, that line, Green fits into those types, whatever. So we got ourselves a pretty nice hand here. We got Forest, we got an Oddish, we can Level Ball for a Rowlet. So plenty of stuff we can do here. And without using too many items, since we only have the 1, it's pretty solid. So we see Eevee and Tauros, okay. So we can Level Ball here, go find a Rowlet. Okay, so looks like we prized one of our Vulpixes. That sucks. Alright, so there's Rowlet, and we'll put Forest down and evolve into this guy, Dartrix. Go ahead and get a double colorless energy on there, and Shaman here for 4 cards. Alright, so there's Decidueye, so we can just go ahead and put that into play. We also get another Rowlet down, and we can end here. Okay, so we find Gloom. We don't find the all-important Float Stone, however. I guess we could just pay the retreat cost, but I don't know. Either way, Oddish or Gloom. We'll go ahead and roll it down, and then we'll use Decidueye-GX as Feather Arrow to lay 20 damage down here before we pass the turn. And this would be one of those matchups where, with the evolutions, where it would be real nice to have Espeon EX here to be able to de-evolve those things and knock them out. So we do see Espeon EX comes into play. And we'll see what else happens here. We know a Psybeam can occur. That would be 30 damage and confusion, so nothing too severe. Might actually end up Sky returning in a couple of turns, I don't know. We do see he's going to Ultra Ball here for a Lele. Probably go find a Sycamore or something. Unless he really wants a Lysander. Alright, so there's Wonder Tag. Oh, he is going to go for the Lysander. Alright. I mean, hey, if you really want to send that Gloom back to the bench, be my guest. Yeah, he's going to bring the Decidueye up. And we're going to see Psybeam here for 30 damage. That's fine. Alright, so we find a Float Stone. That's pretty appropriate. Bring this up. And we'll also Feather Arrow here. Get some damage down. I think I'm just going to give him a Sitting Duck of a Rowlet for next turn. We get Sky Return here. And yeah, you can have that one. So nullifying the Confusion and the Lysander play is pretty solid. And we are unfortunately stalled here for the moment, but we should be able to hopefully get out of that next turn with Shaman. We do see he plays a Sycamore here and a Team Flare Grunt, an interesting inclusion. Definitely a solid choice. We see 2 Trubbishes brace the board now. And it would be nice to get that Vileplume online. We'll probably want to find another Float Stone for that. See a Versus Seeker here for that Flare Grunt he just threw away. And another Psybeam here, so 30 damage. And we draw a Trainer's Mail, so we can use that. Find an N. That's pretty good. Might actually not have to put the Shaman back down. And we can just attach this over here. And go ahead and play the N. Okay, so we find the Alolan Vulpix, and I kind of wish I would have put that energy up front now so we can just retreat. Go ahead and put the Vulpix down. And once again, we will use Feather Arrow just a single time. And pass our turn, so he can take this knockout. You see another Eevee comes down and gets an energy, so that is going to be another Espeon GX. And we might want to start targeting out these Trubbish if they don't evolve. We could be able to Ninetales and Decidueye to take them out. And only 2 items down in the discard right now. But we do see Lysander. He brings up the Gloom, though. That's an interesting choice. But since he doesn't have an energy to use Psychic, I guess I understand it. So another double colorless energy is drawn. Oh my god. These things are running all over the place. Definitely not having trouble with energy here today. So we will go Ultra Ball for the Alolan Ninetales and put that into play. Would have been nice to be able to use Beacon, you know, kind of get some evolutions going for these things. But we do have a Sycamore here. And we find, well, not everything, but we get a few things. So we can also use these Ultra Balls to try to pick another Decidueye out of the deck. And we will get a knockout on one of the Trubbish, and we do need to count these items now as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, my god, 5, 6. Okay. So we'll retreat into Alolan Ninetales now. And he does have the, whatchamacallit thing, the Team Flare Grunt. So, go ahead and put all of our evolutions down, and then we're going to Feather Arrow. We're going to hit both of these Trubbishes, I think. Well, we could probably just do the second one onto, well, let's see, 2 more, and that would be 10 short rests. And then Alolan Ninetales can use Ice Blade and take out that Trubbish. 1 down. Now we know we're going to see a Team Flare Grunt and a and a Psybeam here to follow this up. But outside of that, it'll be interesting to see what else he can do. Obviously, that will run us out of double colorless. We'll have one left in the deck, but Alolan Ninetales only has one retreat. So we also have the option of just hitting a Grass Energy and retreating it. Maybe using Hollow Hunt a couple turns later. So it looks like okay, so he's going to pull the Flare Rot, and it's going to use it. Now, okay, yeah. So we may not want to put an energy down just yet. Of course, we're also confused, so to try to take some time here, we do draw the Grass Energy, so we can go ahead and put that over here. And we can use these Feather Arrows to try to slow down this, maybe try to keep this Trubbish from evolving. And then we can work on Espeon after that, which really, if we're able to bring up, if we're ever able to bring up Decidueye, one Razor Leaf would be enough to finish that. He does, of course, evolve into Garbodor. So the retreat is paid. There's Garbodor, and it's going to be able to lay down some damage. So we take 120 from Trashalanche. And, okay, we didn't draw much there. We'd be bumping him up to 160 here, but that's fine. Alright, so we have the double colorless. We could go for the GX attack here. Or we could just try to retreat. And I'm really liking the option of having the GX attack here. It's a little bit of a gamble, but screw it. Let's do it. Ah, fuck. Well, it doesn't knock us out. Hopefully we don't see some elaborate retreat into Espeon GX, you know, divide shenanigans. So he's just gonna do that. That's fine. And we actually forgot to use both Decidueye's abilities last turn, Rick. That's terrible. We got a little caught up in the excitement there. So we will, let's see. First, priority one, we got to kill that thing. Feather Arrow is definitely favorable to start laying more damage on this Espeon. And then we'll just retreat, bring that guy out, and Razor Leaf to finish that thing off. Get a nice prize card. Not one we can really use. I would have preferred a Dartrix there. We could have gotten a third Decidueye down. Alright, so another Trubbish, of course, you know. And looks like we're going to see Psychic here for 150. Ouch! Okay, and there's an end. Drop our hand way down. I find myself okay with that. And Espeon might have just a little too much firepower at the moment, but we could drag up Tauros. Now, here's an idea. Being able to drag up the Tauros here, and we also have access to Hollow Hunt now. So if we drag up the Tauros, we can use Feather Arrow, and let's just try to take this thing out for now. And get it 10 hit points away from a KO. And then we can use Hollow Hunt GX since we failed in our endeavor to battle Confusion in order to use the other GX attack. And we can grab, I'm not even sure that I want that Lysander. I think I just want 2 double colorless here. Grab the Vulpix and a pair of double colorless energies. And could have also tried to grab something that would help get another Decidueye in play, but it's whatever. So we do have some more energy now. We can put Vulpix down, and 1 Feather Arrow is all we need to finish off this Espeon. So we get 2 prize cards there, and we do find Lysander. We also find another Alolan Vulpix, which is never a bad idea. Go ahead and get an energy on one of those. We do have the second Decidueye still available, so we can go ahead and attack the one here. And then eventually we should be able to just do enough damage where we would just knock it out. But for now, I'm going to leave the Tauros firmly planted in the active spot without attacking. And maybe next turn we can go in for an Alolan Ninetales strike. So we can do, let's see, 20, 40. We can also try to go with the Vulpix here. Do 20, 40 damage. I should put this at 111. Honestly, I think we're probably just better off just still keep swinging with Decidueye here. We can get 60 damage, and then if he doesn't end us, next turn we would be able to lay down 2 more of those, and then Lysander Razor Leaf for the KO. So some silly misplays happened, but barring something crazy, okay, yeah, he just passed. So that right there will be the game. And we could have also brought Ninetales up and tried to do some snipe damage that way, which if he had made, you know, some kind of a disruption play, I think that would have been the decision. So Ninetales doesn't do too much outside of a single attack there, but we do end up with the win. We beat Garbodor despite all those items ending up in the discard, just because item lock ends up slowing him way down, and Decidueye is able to take control. So we come 1-0, and we will take this deck into another game and try to make it 2 for 2. Okay, and that looks like bees, or I don't know. I mean, it could be whatever, but all those types generally has something to do with Vespiquen, which really doesn't bother me. So we start with an Oddish here. This isn't a great hand. It's certainly not terrible. Like, I've seen better and worse, so we'll see what ends up happening. And oh, he started with a Shaman. Okay. So we'll T-mail here. We find Floatstone, which is perfect since we have an Oddish. And let's see here. Let's go get a Rowlet. Look at that. What our Vulpix is. We have a Ninetales. All of our Decidueyes, 4th Dartrix in half. So we got all of our Owls here. Go ahead and get an energy over there as well, and then we're playing N since we don't have a Forest of Giant Plants. Still don't have a Forest, so that's fine. I mean, I guess that means there's nothing for him to take advantage of. And Vulpix, we go to the active. So with Vespiquen, they don't really attack on the first turn. So unless Tauros comes down, I guess that's like the one thing that does. You see a double colorless, I mean, I guess you could use Sky Return, sure. That's not going to do enough damage. So we see Rainbow Energy and a whole bunch of supporters and a Revitalizer. Rainbow Energy is certainly an interesting choice. Oh, okay, so we're playing some kind of mirror match here. Some kind of freaky deaky mirror match. Alright. So we get Sky Returned. And we're just gonna play another N here. There's a Forest though. Awesome. That's a fun thing. Alright, so we're going to end here, get him out of that 8-card hand he's sitting on. And we do get the Plume and the Decidueye. Now, I'm okay putting the Plume into play with only one Owl, because we have a Sycamore #1, and we also have the Beacon here to be able to pull more stuff out of the deck right now. So the Plume is going to come down as well, and Beacon is going to go and get us the first 2 pieces in another Decidueye line. And then next turn we'll just be able to Sycamore after putting these things down. And that will put us in a really, really nice position. And if this thing gets knocked out, it's kind of whatever. Okay, so we see the Tapu Koko promo comes down. That's an interesting decision. Now that can also go in this deck, much like Alolan Ninetales can. And I do have a variant of that. I find it difficult to fit both into the same deck. It's stretching it a little far, I think. So we do get the double colorless here, which I think we just attached here in case we don't draw the Alolan Ninetales. If we do, then, you know, cool, whatever. Probably just not play it anyways. Probably just use Beacon. But we do have a Decidueye now, and yep, we actually do find the Ninetales. So I think I'm still going to use Beacon here. After, of course, we use Feather Arrow. This thing has 110, so it's probably where we want to focus our Feather Arrows right now. And then Beacon, again, is going to get a Decidueye and a Dartrix, I believe. So, yeah, I suppose that seems good. You just want to... I think in this match, we just want to put a whole bunch of owls on the board right now. Having the 20 damage on the Tapu Koko means that we can simply put... If we hit a Lysander, we can simply play that and KO it with Razor Leaf. Do the same thing with Shaman if we put 20 on it here. Go ahead and start evolving some more of these things. And we can also start using Ninetales attack here, as I think I'm pretty comfortable with my board right now to be able to evolve this thing. So we will go ahead and also lay 20 damage on the Shaman. And I think we can actually... Well, I should just move that one up to 40. And use Ice Blade, send that way as well. That'll leave it a Feather Arrow away from KO. And if he does evolve this into Decidueye, it's kind of whatever at this point. Gonna let that go and just focus on the rest of his board. So we see a scoop right there, and our board was awesome. His board really wasn't set up. So Decidueye, Ninetales, the Alolan Vulpix using Beacon. We see, and then Vileplume, of course, we see all of the pieces of the deck come together there and just corner our opponent into nothing. So we will do a third game here, but that really was a prime example of how this deck is supposed to function, the way I saw Andrew Mahone play it. So again, one more game, just because we can. So let's get going. Okay, and so we hit another Garbodor. My god, it's just like every other game online right now is Garblele. If you play anything that loses to Garblele, you just cannot grind the ladder, that's for sure. Alright, this is... Well, actually no, this is not a good hand. Because we don't have either of the mid-stages, and we got everything else, you know. We got all our big evolutions that we don't want right now because we can't put them into play just yet. So I would not cry if he ended me out of this. Alright, and oh, we see the promo Giratina. Alright. All of these lists I've been running into with Trubbish or with Garb have been running Espeon tonight. But some nights it's just the Drampa or the Tauros. Tonight it's the Espeon, which realistically has been kind of the favorite build, I feel like, on PTCGO. So you see an Energy Evolution, a Pass of the turn, so we're just gonna Forest and Sycamore. That's all we can do. Alright, we do get a Decidueye straight into play. That's nice. We also get a Vulpix on the bench. I'm going to hold on to it for now, though, because of concerns with... well, actually, I mean, we could Hollow Hunt, so... Actually, I think I won't. Concerns with a certain supporter card that can make you discard 3 cards. Meanwhile, I think we are going to go to work on this Ninetales, though. I don't see any item cards in there. Or not Ninetales, sorry. Espeon. Clearly, I meant Espeon. Not really sure what I want to take here, to be honest. Take a Lysander for sure. We'll take Ninetales, and we'll take Decidueye. Doesn't really do a whole lot for me. You could make an argument that I should have just passed the turn there. I really wouldn't argue with it. Double colorless, alright, that goes on to Trubbish. Yeah, it's just an easy retreat. Well, there's Garbodor, and we could try to Lysander that up. Seems like a solid option to have. So, come back after it. I'm not done with you yet. And, nope, that's not helping. Okay, so we can put the Ninetales into play here. And Feather Arrow. And that is about it. Yeah, not really much else to do here. Could have probably attached the energy somewhere, but whatever. So there's an energy. He can Trash Lance for 20 damage. That'll be... Looks like it's going to be 40 next turn. Maybe 60. Oh, never mind. It'll be 40. There's an N. Although he's dead drawing. I don't want to give him that. Screw it. You have your damage. Alright, so we get Roll It and Dartrix. Get another Feather Arrow. And that will be the turn. Alright, so he's going to be able to do 60 damage. That's about as much as I want to give him. Ah, he's got the Lysander. Fuck. Alright, so here comes the Oddish. We'll get the knockout there. That's fine. That's whatever. We'll bring up the Ninetales now. That gets Decidueye, more importantly, out of the active position. So, double colorless will go on the Ninetales. We'll use Feather Arrow to hit it for 20. And then use Ice Blade to hit it for 50 more. Alright, so that puts it at 130. I need another Decidueye. We can Ultra Ball, I guess. That would help. Yeah, it looks like we're going to get Lysander again. That's fine. We've got a Float Stone in hand to deal with that. We'll end up putting more items in the discard, but I guess that's just the price you pay. We do find a Revitalizer here, which could actually just get the Decidueye that way. So we'll get Oddish, we'll get Decidueye, and we will play a Float Stone here as well. So we're going to leave the Garbodor attacking, which is okay. It's getting some damage down, especially with that belt that it's got, or the Choice Band. And how much damage is that at? That's actually enough, yeah, we didn't need more. So let's get to work on this guy. That was bad math by me. Alright, and Ice Blade will finish off the Espeon. So we'll pick 2 prizes off that, and we get another Decidueye, and I was hoping for another piece to that line. Get a 3rd Decidueye out next turn and take this Garb away. And we're going to see another Lysander play here versus Secret. He has not hit a draw supporter yet, and it looks like he's just going to finish this Decidueye off. Alright, and that's going to put a 5th item in there, which kind of sucks. Still not enough to Oko, so we can working with what we got. If you get the Gloom here, maybe if we can get Vileplume up, maybe. I don't know. I need another Owl more than I need Vileplume. We'll get the Float Stone. I think we're just going to play this stuff out. We get another Rowlet. Go ahead and put Float Stone on the Gloom and Sycamore. Alright, so we do find Dartrix. Don't find Decidueye, but we still have more cards to work with. Have the energy for that one. Alright, do this. Get the Decidueye out this way. And realistically, I think we win now. We got 90 damage. Yeah. Well, no. Yeah, 90 damage. No, 90 is not enough. And I don't think we have another Revitalizer, sadly. How many items have we given him here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 160. That is 190. That is not enough. So note to self, do not play the level ball. Okay, so we'll put the Vulpix down. And we don't have a Plume, but we've got everything else. Only we had another energy, you know, we could go Razor Leaf. But we can't attach, obviously, so. Ice Blade will put this thing 10 points away from death. And we're going to take a heavy hit here, but it's not enough unless I miscounted. It's going to be 10 damage, or 20 damage short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. So instead he's just going to Lysander again, you know. What else is new? Lysander up the Decidueye. But if he doesn't have another basic, he loses this game. And it looks like that's going to... Yeah, so this game's over. 190 damage, yeah, whatever. And Feather Arrow to kill you. Alright, so I know we had a couple of Garbodor matchups there. We didn't even get Plume out that time. I mean, that guy just straight up dead drew. But, you know, you kind of see just what unfolds, how this is supposed to work. And obviously we did have the one instance where we got to use Beacon a few times to set things up as well, which really is a beautiful thing. And the straight up Ninetales decks take advantage of that as well. So that is Alolan Ninetales, Decidueye, Vileplume. I'm a Heretic, and I will see you guys on the flip side, hopefully when I'm not sick. Cheers.